saying that before leaving, for example, I'm rushing. Before leaving, like 2 minutes before I leave, then I check wow, dangerous. But yeah, after this night, after I wake up, then I think it's okay because I have plenty of time to, go toilet before leaving home. I know. Strange.
To change it. Hi, morning. there the thing on already? Okay, hi everyone. Good morning.
Hi.
Yes. Wow, you've been sitting for this is the how many weeks already? Almost a month already. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are we connected already? Yeah. Okay, good. I think first of all, just want to really once again appreciate your openness. All right, to even to go as a team leader. All right, do you know that you are the rare breed of people in VFC? Okay. This is the most precious group of people. In fact, as I said, and even standing over here to facilitate this session, I will say that it is really a privilege and an honor, and because you are representing the whole church, and you are really going to help the church even to do what God has called us to do. You are very, very important, okay? And today we're going to talk about the team leader and pastoring the team. Anybody just want to throw out, okay, what do you understand by even from this session? What are you going to talk about?
Parenting.
Parenting? Oh, okay.
Team member.
All right, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe how about Stephen?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear
What do you think we should be looking at when we talk about pastoring the team?
I've been a parent to them if you're growing up, and then you as a family man, as a parent to them.
Okay, good. Marlon?
Yeah, I would always go back to the original usage of the word pastor, which means shepherd in the Bible.
Okay, great.
So,
That's right.
So I will be shepherding them in the sense that I will be providing their needs. I'll be making sure that they are safe, they're productive.
Okay,
and
good.
I'll be taking care of them, and of course at the same time I will train them. That's my role. So all in one.
Yep. James?
Helping them grow.
Well, good. Yeah.
Growing their personal lives, character.
That's right. Good, good. Yvonne? Okay. Yeah. And of course, I don't know how Fyodora. Don't know what would she say. Maybe I can see from the text. Right. While waiting for as I know, it's a bit delayed. Okay. So when you talk about pastoring, I think Marlon mentioned about the shepherding. Okay, what really we talk about pastor is about shepherding the flock, and I'll say that in fact this is a very, very important part that as a team leader we need to take note. And as I say, the objective of this lesson is to help the team leader to know the role as a team leader actually involve pastoring the team, correct? And of course, he also had to accept the responsibility that's given to him, and he also needs to equip himself to carry out the role and the responsibility, and also he must have a desire. All right, ultimately we can talk so much. Ultimately, if you don't have a desire to pastor the team, all right, that's it. And I must stress that it is very, very important. Tell me, why is it important? What do you think? Why is this so important? Don't look at the notes. Okay, don't just all right. let's talk. I think most of you all are leaders already. All right. Okay. You are already leaders in different various ministries and leadership. What happens if we don't pastor?
A healthy team can do better work.
Exactly. A healthy team can do better work. Wow. Excellent. What else? One more.
I think the people in the team still need someone to pastor them while they're in the team.
Exactly. You really knew it. Remember, no, the team goes there. You have actually no other leaders to lead them. You are the leader. You are the pastor. Okay. If you don't pastor them, basically, then who is your pastor? Who do they go to? And this is what we want to talk about. No, the role of pastoring the team. It is so important, and because the team really needs a pastor. The team needs someone actually to shepherd them. Just now we talked about the shepherding, and the team, as we say, we don't just just lead them to do all the works. Basically, they need a pastor to pastor them. Even locally, in VFC, all right, in our home church, we need pastors, correct? We don't just ask them to, this is the goals, this is the missions that we're supposed to do. You're supposed, even in the CG, we need to pastor them, all right, to ensure that they were able to carry out the work. And the most important thing is that remember, the church actually entrusted individual lives, give up their life voluntarily to step up into the mission field. 1 year of their life, no work, no pay, all right, and now they have entrusted their life to the church, and the church has entrusted, all right, your members, whether 3, 4 members, are to you, and it is very important for. As a team leader, right now, we carry the responsibilities to ensure that we will take care of them and we will be responsible for them. Just now we talked about the team needs a pastor, all right, and they need one who cares for them. We talk about because once we are able to care for them, we are able to encourage them. They are actually able to work even better, correct? All right. So because every one of us are, as I say, we have various needs, and every one of us needs that kind of encouragement. We need that kind of care. That's why God called us to be a shepherd. In the Bible, when you look at all about leadership, it is about shepherding, and He used the word shepherd actually is so beautifully, because why? A shepherd is like, when you look at a shepherd and the sheep, right? You look at real shepherd and real sheep. Basically, the sheep is like they just need the shepherd to guide them. They just need the shepherd to care for them if they're injured, all right, to bind their wounds, all right, to lead them. And this is exactly the same. So, as a leader of the team, we really need to shepherd them. And each member, as we say, each team member, all right, they were, in fact, to say, they would really look for a team leader who cares for them. Let me tell you, many times when we hear about conflicts in the team or in the missions field, and you will always find that they will also always have these areas about maybe my leader never take care of me, my leader, very distant, right? And this will actually cause a lot of conflict. And I believe this team is different. Amen. You will be the best, all right, shepherd to them, and you will be able to care for them. And the morale of the team, it is important, All right. Once a team is healthy, once the team is able to be engaged, to work together, then you find that all right, the team were able to even work better among the team members. Once the leaders begins to be involved, able to work better, and you find that also the confidence of each member of the team, okay, they will inspire positive attitudes and diligence as a team in this church planting work. And of course, once we are able to relate with them, they will have a better relationship with you, okay, and you are able to work better. Now, in fact, there's not much notes. I didn't realize that the student notes, okay, basically is the same as my teacher's notes. All right, so there's not much notes that you need to take. But of course, if there are things that God drops into your mind, all right, do jot it down, and I believe that it will be a blessing by the time when you reach the field, or in fact, once you start the team training, you were able to provide that kind of care. Now, we want to talk about the responsibilities in pastoring the team. There were, in fact, when you talk about shepherding, okay, so now what are we talking about? The areas of responsibilities, all right, in pastoring. And in fact, there are many areas. In fact, we will just nail to 4 main areas about the responsibilities. Okay, so first is to provide pastoral care. All right, and then we also want to look at the overall welfare of the team. Then later we look at their personal development and ministry involvement. Now, these are the 4 main areas that we are looking for today. Now, when we talk about to provide pastoral care, what are some possible needs a team member will face? What do you think?
Tired.
Okay, good.
Lethargic. Tired.
They'll be tired. What else?
Some things happen at home.
Okay. Okay, there are issues at home. Okay. Any more?
I think perhaps like sickness like in the body. Sometimes it doesn't surface here, but once you're over there because of the work and also because of so many things that's happening around it. So some of these illness may surface.
Okay. Yep. Any others?
I think the very first stage of getting together in the mission field is the adjustment. So you really need to take care of them.
Yes.
Sure how they will adjust in the situation. That is a great stress for the members.
Okay, but Marlon, you brought this area very good. I should say, because you start well, okay, very likely, okay, the rest of the days will be better. The moment we don't start well, then once you try to undo everything, it is very, very difficult. It is very difficult, all right? So normally, as I say, wow, yeah, true, adjustment, yep. What else?
Financial issue. Money not enough.
Okay, money, yes. And this is real. This is real. They are not working. They are not working, and then they go to suddenly, they used to have money to spend, and now, wow, even though it'll be quite difficult to spend.
I refer to team leader.
If team leader faces it, what about the members? It's even worse. Okay, yeah. Any others? Because the more we are aware, the more open for us actually to able to look and to see, are these needs being met? All right, are they facing these issues? Because if we are just ignorant, and as a team leader, you have a lot of, as you say, responsibilities, tasks to do, and it's so difficult. You may miss all these areas. Okay, Theodora just now earlier mentioned about shepherding. Yeah, very good. Yeah. What other areas?
I think dealing with issues at home, at some point your team will get homesick, probably by the third month. You'll miss the community that they have.
Yes. Good. Good. So let's talk about this. What practical ministry can the team leader do to minister to them? Example, tired. I think you will hear that, okay? You will hear that, definitely. James, very tired, James. Cannot.
And I sleep early.
A couple of months ago, I attended a Zoom call there's a missionary who actually hosts like a Zoom call, sharing her experience where she's in Congo. So one thing that she said that struck me quite clearly is that she said actually for her she's a very she sleep early, right? So and it's not because it's a good habit so called, but I think what her perspective is that when you sleep early, actually you make sure that the next day you are fresh to do the work of God.
Yep.
Right? So for her principle is that by 10-ish she'll get to bed, she'll rest so that she can be fully equipped the next day to do it. So I think actually that was something that I thought is quite true, because sometimes we can get so tired with working. I mean, not that it's bad, but just that when you kind of overlap on the night time, then in the morning when you wake up, you might not be fully equipped enough to be quick to react to things that you're doing. So dealing with tiredness, I think maybe having a discipline of getting our team members to learn to rest, really tune in, get in bed, to be ready to sleep early so that the next day they are fully fresh and not giving iPads and all that. That's important.
Okay, very good. Yes. And sometimes you want to see whether is it the issue. Maybe the rest of us we sleep already, and then maybe one of your member at night, wow, still don't know, playing games or whatever. They never sleep, or they be chatting. And but of course, I think Japan not so bad now. Sometimes different time zone, because they may be awake So these are areas that, as a team leader, if you really want to care for them, you may to help them. Yeah, very good observation. Or what else can we do?
I think getting them to talk it out.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
helps a lot because sometimes they just don't want to talk about it, or like
Mhm.
they just keep everything in their heart.
Mhm.
Sometimes you also don't know what needs they have,
Hmm.
but if they talk it out,
Mm.
then there can be counsel, there can be advice, there can be prayer.
Yeah. So we really have them to be open to talk about. Yeah, good, yes, because and sometimes instead of just guessing and guessing, the best is to hear from them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm. Any other suggestions?
I think the ministry of listening is very important
Mm.
because first and foremost we don't know each other,
Mm.
and it's really a challenge to be in a house, with people whom you didn't grow up with. I mean, your church mate, yeah, right? But even though like for me, we have different cultures. I'm Filipino, they're Singaporeans. Even though I stayed here for more than a decade already, there's somehow some gaps there. So I need to listen to them. That's my ministry first. Because when I'm willing to listen, then practically I'll be able to understand them and cope with what they need. So the practical ministry of listening and trying to understand what they really are, or the status that they're in. Then that's my practical ministry with them, because with that I can hit the right approach and right way of doing it.
Yes. Okay, so you talk about listening, and sometimes it's that because of the schedule, because of the demand of the ministry. So it means when you talk about listening, it's very intentional.
Yeah, correct.
You may have to set aside time.
Can be any time. I mean, not necessarily we are sitting on a couch and trying to understand what she's saying in one-to-one. But what I mean is that I'm always open to, hey, what is this? I'm really conscious, very conscious of listening. What is she saying? What is she saying? It's not like a voice that just passed my ears. Something like that.
But let me say, okay, like I think for Theodora and Yvonne, I think most girls they are more observant. The morning wake up, hey, you look very tired or whatever, maybe through you will know. Guys, let me tell you, they are half dead already. Sometimes you still don't know. All right, we didn't really able to observe even the physical what is happening to them. That I suggest, in fact, each one of you really. Sometimes when we talk about when you look at these areas, have personal time. It's good even to set aside personal time. I always encourage the team leader say, hey, meet them at least once a week. You know, they were very long. You just maybe 15, 20 minutes. Just have a time with them individually. Because then when you want to address issue, it won't be awkward. It's like this is your usual time of meeting up. But of course, in your meetup, is that don't scold them lah. Okay, you really want to, as you say, hear from them, because it is good that you hear from them, then you hear from other people. Okay, this is actually she's struggling. Take for example, maybe tiredness due to sickness, for example. Right, the person is sick. They don't tell you. They can tell every other people, maybe your team members all know, and you doesn't know. And this is where when you have a personal time set aside with them once a week, it'll be good. You are able to sometimes recognize all these areas, and you can pray for them individually. And some of the things maybe they it's not convenient for them to share openly. So do have a personal time. How about sickness? So how do you meet and provide the pastoral care to them if they are sick? You wake up.
Yeah, I think I had a case in Uganda where the brother was really sick.
Mm.
Sick in the sense that he couldn't get up, he couldn't do ministry at all over a projected time. So we had competitor, we got other staff that brought there to let him take, but it doesn't really help. But I think he has a real physical problem. So I brought him to the medical hospital at Uganda to provide, to let the doctor check him. So over there, I actually give, look after his because the doctors there, the needles they use to inject him is wrapped in a piece of green cloth. So it's not so clean. So I insist that doctor will bring a new one and then they kind of like, what they do, they use something to burn it. The needle, and then you apply a bit of those anesthetic before he inject him. So that was part of my pastoral care. And then the visit to the hospital was quite frequent. Yeah. And then ultimately he recovered. Actually, the main thing behind is not just a sickness; it's more like a fear that's in that person's mind.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, if someone really sick, what do you do as a team leader? Example, it could be maybe so bad, fever, high fever, what do you do?
I mean, other than praying, of course we pray for healing, but we see a doctor. Yeah.
Yep.
See a doctor, or if you want to self-medicate, then just rest.
Yep.
I think basically is to observe what can be done in the physical aspect, and then you don't have to press things for that to go on. Yeah, the work is important, but if their health is not at the right status, you don't want to.
Little faint outside, need to carry them.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that one, I probably shared this earlier before, but my pastor ever, when we were in Africa, I think my pastor made an observation that we were all slowly falling sick, like we were having flu. I know it's weird to have flu in Africa and so on, but we had flu, some people were coughing, so he just said that this particular day we're not going to do anything at all, and everyone is supposed to just rest. And absolutely no washing of clothes, because he knows that if he gives us free time, we'll go and wash our clothes. So he said you are only allowed to lie in your bed and rest well, so that the next day we can all go out again. And there's no cooking also, so we will eat food from outside or whatever, but we just got to rest through the day. So I think observing like if the team is falling sick because of the weather or because of what they are doing, it's important to strike the balance of like not just being a hogger and working and like not addressing like the physical need.
True. Okay.
Prior to that, of course, prevention is better than cure. So it's good to know the medical history, or if there's any of all our members. Because you need to know whether if this member really conscious of taking care of him or herself. For example, she's a diabetic. If I see her drinking Coke and Coke and Coke, then I should stop her. Later it become a problem. So that's the first part. Secondly, of course, I agree with what all they say, that she needs rest and he needs rest. But while resting, also I need to stop the issue, in the sense that if it's spiritual, of course we pray. But if it's because of negligence or the person is not really taking care of herself or himself, I need to make some steps, and need to implement it. So, for example, the person is not sleeping well, or he's not sleeping properly. The sleep is so short. Then I staying late at night. Then I need to address the issue. So what I mean is that, pastorally I would care, but will give everything that I can give, but I should ensure to myself that it's once and for all, and as much as possible it should stop.
Okay, good. So the whole thing is, in fact, if any of your member is, I should say, sick more seriously, not like just, you should also inform your trainers as well. All right, very important. Because I know sometimes some team leaders are very careful, they are very cautious, they want to ensure, we safeguard the cause, they want to ensure that the work is on. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, but at the same time, as I say, it is good to keep the trainers informed. Example, some places they have malaria. Okay, mosquitoes. So what do you do? These are very, very, as we say, real thing. All right, and some, as we say, it could be a water issue. I don't know, maybe Philippines. That side, I don't know how is the situation over there. I know in Africa, example, wow, they fall sick because I'm sick, and it's kind of fever, they have diarrhea. In the end, to really look at the water problem. Yeah, you have to really look at it. So these are things that we don't just blindly. I remember when I went out at time last time, we were in India. We didn't know, their water is it's not like government. You get a pipe, go to your home. Normally it's a pump that you pump the water. Then they have the government water, which is very funny. Is outside, and people will have to queue up. Long queue. You don't have those times like luxury to have a pail stand for 1 hour, then they queue, then they carry 2 pails of water, and they call that sweet water. So the rest you drink from is groundwater. It's not filtered. It's not you buy the filter, but it's still after drinking so thirsty. So it's like after it, and then some fall sick or whatever. In the end, we have to find those big bottles, that are able for especially cooking and drinking. Yeah. So do look into those areas, to say care pastorally, and so that you want your team member to be healthy. All right. So I know that even like in Japan, in fact, my daughter also, she experienced the heat stroke. Okay, now they're hot, they're heat wave. In fact, it was so funny. They show her, I think on the TV channel, they capture her face. Then the next day she got it. You say, somebody shows send the thing that, hey, you're on TV. Oh, okay. Talk about heat wave, So yeah, so all these areas, as I say, do look into it. So these are we talk about health issue, issues at home. These are kind of like maybe we can group under the emotional issues. Okay, so example, if there are issues at home, how can you actually care for them? Because they'll be very troubled. Probably they'll be, as I say, thinking they are look very dazed and lost. How you help them?
It also depends on how open your team member is to you. Because maybe, in the ideal situation is that they tell you what the issue is. But sometimes maybe they really don't want to, then you force it also a bit difficult because that's the nature of the person. So I think you want to utilize your team, whoever that's closest to kind of help this person to work. So maybe it could be someone passed away at home, or it could be the parents suddenly get struck by a sudden illness that's not expected. But I think at that point of time, you probably need to be more aware of like the emotional state of that person. So know when to press the button and when not to press the button. But definitely work with that person to pastorally pray with them and to encourage them in that season.
Okay, very good. Yes, very good. So say, true. Not everybody want to share everything. But at least we have to ensure that we care for them. Okay. Sometimes, as I say, we may not want to, if they don't want to share, yeah, it's okay. You don't need to push them, and just say that, okay, we'll just keep you in prayer. All right. Or is there anything, you can just talk to them, or just pray for you. All right. Sometimes while praying for them, God may give you a word of wisdom, a word of knowledge. Then you pray. Then they felt ministered already. Correct?
I think also to add on, probably it will be good to know who they are accountable here in Singapore.
Mm.
Because I'm thinking in my case, only have one guy in my team.
Mm.
And we are up north where we don't get to meet any of them in the conflict. So I would think for him maybe a little bit harder because he doesn't have physical community with other guys.
Mm.
He has to be stuck with a bunch of women for the next 1 year. So
Yes.
I think it's important to also know who are his community of friends here in Singapore.
Mm.
So that if his dad is going through certain things and he's not comfortable sharing with me,
Mm.
at least if I know who he's accountable to, can kind of just sound me out that he's not doing too well or he's actually struggling with this, then
Mm.
it helps me to better manage okay, maybe on the day that I decided all of us should go intensive evangelism, but because he's in that state that I can actually just see how he's doing, whether he's a bit reluctant and to give him some slack on those days.
Mm. Okay, good. What other emotional issues? Homesick. What else?
I think the VGR thing do occur in the mission.
Mm.
Prior before coming to mission, they already had a steady
Yep.
boyfriend and girlfriend. And they have to take a break for the next 10 months or 1 year.
Yep.
And they stay in communication with letters and sometimes phone calls, right? So on their part, it may be quite emotional thing lah.
Okay. So you see, I think in our missions kind of policies, we do so say everybody is aware during the period of time. All right. Not that you cannot have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or but as I say, we have to deal with this issue. How during this course of time, okay, how do you ensure that it will not disrupt? That is the most important thing. So in fact, once you're in fact now you can start actually slowly engage with them, especially your team members who have a relationship, okay, that they were able to handle, able to deal with these areas. Who is unwell at home, parents, all that, sickly, then they hear, admitted to hospital, all that. How will you handle?
I think at the start, say you need sometime to call home, even if it's during the day, if it just happened. I give some
Okay.
time,
Mm.
but I would say, give some time that obviously we'll pray together.
Mm. Okay.
But I would say, if it's the reality is that you're not physically there.
Mm.
So why don't let our trainer know. Trainer can visit
Yes.
on your behalf, on our behalf.
Very good. Very good. Yes. You see, so we can still do something as a team leader. All right, helping them, sometimes assuring them, okay, don't worry, we will get back to the home church, then we connect with the trainers and even their CG members, whatever, to visit. Yeah. So that is the most important thing. I in fact I've also recently I have one, okay, the grandparents is not well, hospitalized. Then very concerned about the parents. Yeah, just do a visitation, and they felt so good that someone actually, because they someone can represent them, okay, to visit. Yeah, in the end, actually, there's a funeral. Yeah, we visit. So, yeah, so these are areas that we can help, can provide the kind of pastoral care to them. What about work issues?
What issue is in Singapore or overseas?
Maybe overseas, especially. Yeah. Maybe they conflict. I think you all learned already, correct? Okay, about conflict and maybe with fellow team members. So how do you all deal? You all learn already? This person very angry with the other member. So angry, cannot even move on in ministry. So how do you deal?
Find time to talk to him, find out what's the real root cause
Okay.
of the conflict or the issue that you
Yep.
have. And then from there, well, you gotta speak the truth in love. If it's a person's fault, it's character's fault, then you find pray and ask the Lord to how to deal with the root cause. But if it's really the other person's fault, then you must find way to resolve the conflict. Come back, bring both sides together maybe to talk things out, find a solution. Leader
Yeah.
to identify who's the real responsible for any
Yes.
conflict, whatever.
Yes. You see, the Bible always talks about, do not let the sun go down. Correct. In fact, any issues, unforgiveness, resentment. So as a good team leader, as a good pastors, we have to help our members to ensure that they will overcome, that these areas will be resolved. Tendency for them, put that way, the person affected will tend to just want to hold on. Sometimes they just want to stay on the pity party, They know it's not right. They know what to do. They know, all right? No, you tell me, I know what to do. Okay, this is what the Bible says. But as a team leader, your role is that, you really have to really spur them, help them, encourage them to ensure that these issues will be resolved, especially with team member. All right, with fellow team member, very, very difficult. How about with you? That will be even more challenging, huh?
I think for me, it's a bit easier than member to member. You know why? Because for us, we are the team leader. We should know if we are really mature enough as a leader. We should know that this should not escalate. So small tensions and all this can be handled immediately, and it won't go so far. But with member to member, that's the difficult part because you cannot control the escalation. And nobody will be willing to give way. For me as a leader, I can learn how to give way and not escalate the thing. So I will deal it right away. Hopefully, but I'm not. I mean, I don't want to see any situation that the guy, for example, is shouting at me or wanting to kill me already because of so much tension. That one is too late already to resolve.
But I must say that, in fact, most of the team members normally, actually, when they have really issues, sad to say, it is always with the leaders.
Yeah, that's why I say it's very
Okay.
important to always listen.
Yeah.
My prevention lah. Always listen.
So, why is it? I mean, if you say that, if most of the team members normally have issues with team leader, what is the possible reasons?
One-way communication.
Okay, good. One-way communication, yes.
Understanding.
Because of one-way communication, all right, you don't have a chance. What else?
In perspective. So I give an example. You may think that why you always give more
more job to him or her instead
Mhm.
of the other person? Why you are not equally share among the workload, that kind of thing?
Mm.
And that's one possibility of perspective.
Mm.
And then another one is, because to the leader with the spouse there or children there, then it could have been they think that why you cite your wife, although your wife is a member, you also member, oh, why she do less than you and the rest are member. That kind of thing. Then the leader will start in between
Yep.
the challenges.
Mm.
That is the possibility that I see.
Good. Okay, I want to pick up on what Yvonne mentioned about the one-way. This is where, as I say, sometimes we thought there is no problem. Okay, because you don't hear from them, but they have problem. Okay, they are very frustrated. They are very angry with you, but you doesn't know. You thought that, okay, never mind. They still do their job. Okay. I remember last time when I was doing the team, then I have meetings. We have some meet, then we discuss what to do. Then in my meeting, I remember that time, wow, after I hear from them, then I ask them for suggestions. So everyone, they will give their different suggestions. Then because I have something in mind already, so after that, I will tell them, this one not so good, this good. So after a while, I realized my meeting, actually nobody give feedback on. I realized what happened. Is it everybody is, why nobody feedback? Then in the end, they feedback. They say that, yeah, every time we feedback, you always thumb us down. You always say something. Then I realized, actually, even I can give them the opportunity to feedback, but it's not a very, very positive way of encouraging feedback. So then from there actually I learned. Okay, I learned to really listen and pay attention to what they say rather than quickly, no, this one can. Then they feel very lousy. They feel, why should I give you the feedback? You are not listening. So as a team leader, I think it is important if you really want to care for your team, because you really want to hear them. As I say, the whole part is not about just, sayang, okay, caring for them. What we want is that, because we want them to be healthy, we want them to work as a team, we want them to move along with you, we want them to be, have that good mission experience. That's why we really need to do our pastoral care to the team. Remember, they have no other people. In over here, they got so many other people. They even have put that way, can be even not in the church, people who care for them. But over there, they are really on their own. All right, and they need the team leader to provide the kind of pastoral care. Okay, let's move to the next area. You talk about the welfare. The team leader is responsible for the overall welfare of the team. So what do we mean by overall welfare? How do we provide the overall welfare to the team? Just list some examples.
That time, like what Brother William say, there will always be food.
That's good. That's right. Hey, James, I like that. I want to join your team.
I think the time when I was Solomon Island.
Mm.
Or when he come back, he said whenever it's meal time, he would just on food lah, he wouldn't hold back for the team to eat. Because
Mm.
sometimes it's tiring during the day.
Yes.
Meal times. Obviously, it's not like you burst the budget every day that kind of, but
Mm.
some people like a bit scream and save on like a lot of things in the house that kind, you know.
Mm.
Even the budget, let's say it's like, let's say the budget is like $4, you just spend $2 so that you can save $2 the next day at night. So I said, as long as it's within the budget,
Mm.
you just keep free.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Do you know that, I mean, we thank God for how God has guided, I think, VFC in the area of missions. Most missionaries, in fact, you hear from most churches or many other countries, they go out actually on their own, correct? you felt a call, all right? The church, you have a call, good for you. And then in the end, you fulfill your own call. You go, you buy your own ticket. In fact, you shift everything, and then you go back. Once you go, you don't know when you come back. Maybe you might die there also, And then maybe the first years, people very excited. They give you a lot of love offering. Second year, then they hear some report. You're very slow. That thing. Okay, maybe you come back again. You source funds again. Then they support you. Then you go again. Then probably by third, fourth, fifth year, they're very quiet already. No support already. Right. But VFC, we are very different. All right. We have actually, as I say, when the team go down there, they don't really actually worry about these areas, about financial support and even food as well. So we have separate funds, food fund, and we have the ministry fund. All right. So when you talk about food, no point as to say, you try to. I'm not talking about wastage. In fact, you hardly can have wastage with the tight budget. But don't even cut on that. Don't even cut on that, let me tell you. All right? It is already a tight budget. So, and how many meals actually do you know your team and you will be eating a day? 2 meals. 2 meals. Now, how many meals are you all eating a day? Okay.
They haven't said they changed the rule already. That was 2 meals. Okay, what is it now? Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
You very long, right? 2.5.
Okay, now look at when you talk about food. Think of it, why we have 2 meals?
No time to eat enough.
Yeah, correct. Because you see, to save costs, the team will cook. All right, if you eat out, wow, I tell you, you skyrocket, man. The expenses. Eating out is expensive. Even in Singapore also as well, correct? You eat out and you cook at home is different. Especially you talk about you have a team. So there is time taken to prepare food, and then once you go out, all right, for ministry, it's difficult to come back again. You start preparing to cook again, then you go out again. A lot of time will be wasted. So that's why we have this 2 meals policy. Now, when you have this 2 meals policy, I mean, to be sad to say, in fact, lately, when I heard about teams, in the end, I see them undernourished. It's a big concern for me. It's really, really a big concern because it is not a good sign. And then when I asked them, they said, no time. Huh? No time? Okay. Then they also said, no, it's easier. So I think I know a lot of teams, like, maybe they have breakfast, they just 2 slices of bread, and then by the time they eat, the next meal is dinner. To me, I am a parent. If I see my children like that, my heart also ache, right? Same thing. I think same thing I see when I see a team like that, my heart ache. You know, wow. And it is important for you to take note that, you know, if really you want to associate as a shepherd, God tell feed them physically, all right? Ensure that they will have good health. So ensure that you really feed them. When the time when, I don't know, nowadays I don't know why nobody practice that, okay? So when I came to know, I was quite surprised. When we go out last time, we eat 2 full meals. Morning, in fact, I was not used to it at first because morning normally I eat bread. Suddenly morning, wow, rice! They cook rice and dishes. It's like, oh, this is too heavy. But then, in the end, I realized that, wow, by the time you're burnt out already, and I'm hungry by 2, 3 o'clock already. And for me, because I'm the small size type, I have very high metabolism. Let me tell you, I can really hear growling my stomach. It is difficult. So as to say, you know, as a team leader, ensure they have proper food. Not just 2 slices of bread. And then then eat means basically then you're saying about 1.5, to me it's 1.5 meal only. You know? So have a proper meal, proper nutrition. Then they'll be healthy. Let me tell you, a hungry person is a sometimes I wonder why they are so angry. Wow. Yeah, because why? Oh, team leader say no, cannot. No budget for this. No. Then you will have members that will be very, very angry for no reason. They are very hungry. And especially now talking about like Japan, it's cold. It's cold, right? Weather. And you need more energy, you know. You need more food. You need to sustain. So, James, you got it right. Food. When you talk about welfare, ensure that, you know, even basic things like that, they will have enough. Is it possible? It is possible. Let me tell you, when I realized that actually a lot of them, when the team left, they still have a lot extra food budget. And it was surprised. I'm very, very surprised. I thought, wow, now, okay, we have not increased the food fund for very, very long already. By right, I should say with the, you know, you should be enough. But no, there's extra. Because why? They really, really cut down. And a lot of, let me tell you, now we are dealing with, don't talk about young people that, you know, eat much more, you know, than compared to maybe my time, you know, and make sure that, you know, we take care of their health. And only the team leader can do that, okay? Yeah, because if you realize that, you know, maybe your member say, simple, never mind. Well, you can guide, you know, hey, let's ensure that, you know, I want you all to be in good health. Okay. What other areas? Welfare.
I think protecting their personal space is important. So like, I think sometimes you may have the tendency of wanting to use a Monday to do a lot of stuff with them. But I think in the beginning, if you can draw out like, okay, occasionally maybe that may happen, but be respecting in their personal time. And try to know when they need time to like just be by themselves or do the things that they want to. So that means that even on a regular day, you don't like, okay guys, tomorrow we have to do this, so like today you got to work until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Like, I mean, just have some boundaries on when is the time to actually absolutely do work and when is the time to absolutely just be doing the things that they like, and don't impose like you all can only do this, but give them the space to, I mean, certain boundaries, okay, like nighttime don't go out unless you need to like make contact or whatever, but try not to like come back late or whatever. So like set certain boundaries that are generic, but give them the space of what they need to do, and I don't interfere into that.
Okay, good. Now, you see, most of your members will be sharing room. And then, Japan, their homes are very, very small. And some, I don't know whether you have a kind of a living room, even the living room is very small. And some, even the partition could be those Japanese kind of partition, you know. All right, last time I remember the other old times I visited a team that goes in Japan. Wow, it's sliding, and then it's a couple putting. So wow, very concerned, and talk to in fact, address some of the issues over there. So there's no privacy. So now think of it, no? How would you like if we are being monitored 24/7? Would you like? No. So unconsciously, as a team leader, we may be doing that to our members. Because they happen to be, we stay in the same house, we see them every time, ministry, come back, dinner, rest time, and we may be hogging, bugging on them. And this is something that I talked to some of the return missionaries, is that, I said, why is it different? Why is that, there is no conflict? Try to understand why there's no conflict. I mean, in Singapore, we also, it's not about busy schedule, no? In Singapore, okay, they work, then at night they have nighttime ministries, all right? And we don't have a lot of this sort of, team conflict. We don't have that. And what's the difference then? Why is it on the mission field we have a lot of this area that it becomes, escalated? It's because why? They don't really have a own personal space. Right? I think especially young people, they need some personal space. All right. So do take note, and so how do we resolve this? I want you to start thinking right now. Now, if I'm in Japan, how do I help them in this area?
I think with regards to the work that is within our control, besides protecting their space, is to not, if you know like the two girls stays together forever and ever, during evangelism try to rotate the people that they go out with. So don't always pair like the same people together, knowing that they live together and pretty much have to do a lot of things together. So create that space within the control that you can in alternating evangelism partner or like work around.
Okay, good. Maybe we can hear from Theodora later. Maybe you can just let us know how would you able to ensure that there is overall welfare in the team, especially in the area of personal space and time. And in the meantime, while waiting for Theodora, anyone else?
Maybe you have some fun time together instead always work.
Good. Yep.
Maybe instead of, but not on Monday lah. I also believe Monday should be free time, personal space. So maybe half the day or a few hours for the team, something, do some fun time, some fun thing together to build the rapport.
Yes. So when you talk about fun time, that means we really want to make sure that suddenly always put into the kind of work and that demands that kind of discipline. Yeah. In fact, I would say sometimes it may be, especially, because you're living in the same house, okay? So let's not associate, it's good to set house rules, perimeters, correct? From the very first day, what you need, okay? These are things, But then at the same time, let's not write every little thing you knew on it. Hey, I never switch on the fan. Oh, why you always forget to switch on the fan? See, electricity. No, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. I mean, example lah, Okay, Fedora said, give free time in the night to rest, to do their own thing, ensure that they are well rest. Yep, good. Yes, so you see, don't pack until there's no, as I say, rest. Okay, and of course, there is a demand in the ministry, but ensure there is time that they can have time to rest, and look at your calendar always, review. So it is always good to, let me tell you, plan ahead, all right, especially for the week ahead. Then they will know, okay, these are the time that we have. All right, yeah. And take for example, sometimes if they need, you just probably just outside the door or whatever, they may have some time, they say, I just maybe take time to pray, maybe outside or whatever. Yeah, don't be so rigid, and as long as it's safe, and give them some time. All right. Okay. Let's move to the next one. The team leader, point C, is responsible for the personal development, all right, of the team members. So, okay, when you talk about personal development, what kind of personal development are we talking about? What kind of personal development? Is it important to ensure their personal development? Yeah. So, what kind of personal development?
Their spiritual life.
Okay.
Spiritual life, their personal character.
Okay. What else? Spiritual life, personal character.
So even their maturity.
Yeah. Okay. Stephen, got anything?
No.
So when you talk about their spiritual life, how do we help them? How do we pastor them in this area? Okay, if I want to see their spiritual life, okay, now as a team leader, I don't want them come back. In the end, they should be growing, all right? They should be growing. No, it's not just about doing the work. They should be growing in their spiritual life. So how do I ensure that? Because some of them, you say, they come back, wow, then they become so bitter, why they are so negative, why they doubt God, you know, then actually they are not developing. So how do we ensure that?
I think like yesterday Brother Joseph
Mm.
Brother Joseph session where he talked about devotional life.
Mm.
So I think by getting them to share devotions, you kind of have a gauge of like where they are at, and it pushes them to also hear from God what God wants to speak
Yes.
to the team.
Mm.
And seeing how they, I mean, putting them in a place where they can be activated in the spiritual aspect, you know, in prayer or in worship leading, etc. in the spiritual ministry.
Mm.
Getting them involved definitely is helpful.
Very good, very good. That's why don't, it's good to rotate them for devotion and help them in this area. I think, sometimes, as I say, while they are, as they have to prepare, basically they are forced to dig into the Word. They are forced to really, seek God. And these are very practical ways of helping them to develop their devotional life. And the best thing is that when they begin to share and teach, it's very different from they listening a message. Correct? It's very different, huh? Yeah. Okay. Yep. And of course, for yourself as a team leader, you also can feed them. Correct? So sometimes, as I say, there may be things that that during this season, this is what they need. So it'll be good, sometimes instead of just I just prepare a message only. Seek a now word lah. Okay, this is for this season and something that is very applicable. And I believe they will respect your leadership. They will respect, and able to take heed. All right, and you need to feed them, nah? You need to feed them. So it could be, as to say, it could be devotion. It could be in the service. Yeah. So take time, prepare for yourself. Also, make sure you nourish. Maybe I should say the word nourish them. What about personal character? This is what James mentioned. And maturity. How we help them? How do we pastor them in this area?
I think you always start by encouraging like the behavior that we want everyone to carry. So whether it's let's be honest about everything, to hide within the team, being encouraging, don't be jealous of one another, that kind of thing. I think those are like so-called broad standards that we can encourage within everybody. Then just because you're like with everybody 24/7, like if there are any character flaws, like integrity issues, or that you can straight away see.
Yeah.
I think those are then we'll have to engage them in conversation, in the phone conversation.
Yep.
The walkthrough that with them, they are struggling with that.
Okay, good. So like I think especially in the area of the I don't know, the fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
Let's you know, look into those areas. In fact, you can, if you really, as you say, you know, intentionally, you know, look at them. You know, I want to develop them. Then you look into these areas. Maybe is there any, maybe in this area? Oh, this guy a bit very impatient. How, you know, how to help them? Yeah. All right. Any other suggestion?
For one of my members a bit overweight, so I'm thinking maybe also can take the opportunity to work out some healthy lifestyle plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Throw in some spa idea, trigger him to think about it. So yeah, some exercise program with him.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a healthy body will be easier for him.
Okay.
Yeah, when he serves. So maybe exercise routine maybe one area.
Exercise. Yeah. I think sometimes, you know, you talk about personal character, sometimes even talk about the area of even confidence, all that. Yeah, all these areas sometimes, I think later we will cover. All right, we need to look into all these areas to help them to have that kind of a positive image of themselves as well. Okay. Spiritual life. Now there's also the so these are the spiritual life. Then there's also their emotional life development. Okay. I think just now we already addressed about the homesickness, the new culture, to adjust as well. So wherever you find that these are areas, as you say, be proactive, be intentional, to look into those things. I last time, in fact, I remember when I went out, I told the team that, you know, when you come back, you know, while you're in the field, okay, before you come back, I say, I want you to think of one spiritual aspect, one is a natural aspect that you want to develop. You want to see that it will be developed in the field. So you just look at it, have a goal, what you want. So you get them. I told them. So in fact, I remember. So I set my own also. You know, okay, what do I need? I remember last time. Okay, I said that, you know, oh, I want to maybe guitar. Make sure I want to improve. Okay, down there's a lot of opportunity. You know, I want to. But actually, thank God, no, because by the way, I can't play. Not like Yvonne or James, and I can just play. I had to look at the chords, you know. But even with that, because you practice a bit, and when in the end, I remember one of the outreach, I think those neighborhood down there, even tell them, let's learn guitar. If they come, and try to get them to learn guitar, and they come. Then of course, in the end, these are very, very basic things. So yeah. Or then the other one also say, you know, oh, I want to cook. Make sure that I want to cook at least one dish that I can say I'm good at. At least one dish, okay? Okay, sometimes I want to master one dish. Yeah. Then I try to master fried rice. I remember. Okay. So yeah, you can challenge them, all right, to build in the different areas. Okay. Now, then of course, your spiritual life, emotional life. You also have the social life. Social life. We want to see, you know, that to help our team, all right, especially, you know, their personal presentation. all right. Some can be example, if your team very very sloppy one example. Yeah, I think it's slowly help them. You're in another culture now. What is acceptable kind of thing? I'm not saying that you have to conform to them, but I'm saying that make sure that you won't be offensive. Make sure that you'll be acceptable. All right, very very basic thing, and it's not about dressing style, but it's about able to balance it. All right, and clean, tidy. Especially we go out whole day. Yeah, hygiene. You don't want to smell of BO. Okay, make sure that we take care of these areas. Social ethic also, correct, and learn especially so in I know that especially Japan. So normally you go to the restaurant, okay. Normally what do they greet? They greet something, right? Or do you have to say something? Or you finish, you come up. I know. They come in and they will say something, right? Karimase, whatever. Then how you respond to them? I don't know. So I think some basic, all right. Or go to somebody's house, how you greet them. Yeah. Yep. Then in the area of the relationship on the field, especially on the relationship on the field, remember, your team member, after being very, very lonely, sometimes do remember, okay, ensure that they will not be entangled with a relationship that's in the field. All right, maybe it could be their contacts, their disciples. All right, so these are a very, very important area. Okay. Relationships with home. This is something very, very important. Okay, I need you all to really ensure, that you will help them in this area, because you say encourage the concept of the mission field as their home for the duration of their church planting time. I talk about home. Okay, so this is they always home, back at home, and then especially they need to exercise discretion when they are trying to contact with the people back home. I think Shane, in the first part, I think he mentioned, correct. I think beginning of the of this training program, the importance that they will learn to talk to you first before you bring up to the anybody that is back at home. Make sure that you don't want that people hear because maybe the thing is solved already. Then people still say that do you know that hey Stephen, there is some problem with your team. And actually you already resolved already, so it is not fair. So be very, very careful how they bring back things back home. So they're very angry, right? Then they talk, or they text. And the worst thing, they put on the social media. That is the worst. All right. So really tell them to be very, very careful what they put. All right. And I should say do look into everybody's their account. I should say do be to ensure that they don't post anything that is bad, because it will not be nice. Sometimes you cannot retract back whatever that you say. All right. So especially to their family members, their CGs, members, and so it is very, very important. All right. Of course, now we are very, very convenient. easily they can just wow, say that, oh, I'm very angry with this. Oh. Tell them, learn to before they put anything. That's maybe to ask God. Say, God, is it right or not? It's just like same thing. Sometimes I responding to email. So it's so quick, you want to just then after that realize. I mean, this one I learned from Shane. I put it aside, Then after that, look back again. No, I don't think I'll do like that. No. I change a bit, So same thing, whatever that they want to put, it will be very, very important. All right. So what are the things you think will be, you say that it will be sensitive? What will you communicate to the team? That these are sensitive things. I think you should not quickly feedback to maybe your family members or your CG members. What kind of guidelines would you give them?
I think when there are conflicts, I think the first line of communication is to team leader to HR. If we are taught that we cannot resolve, I think right now we have the privilege of a trainer, and we can go online to discuss the issues. Yeah, that might be a help. Of course, before that, you could have talk to your trainer about these issues and maybe set a time to meet up and see where and how best to resolve the issue.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Do get your trainers involved lah. As I said, I think is good, and sometimes, as I said, I think the whole thing is about working together as a team. So even for you as a team leader, remember, the trainer is not your after sometimes the trainer is not your enemy. The trainer is not or someone that is okay. You just see as someone checking on my work. No, you have to look at it as okay, you're working as a team. The trainer will be one that's trying to help. Okay, sometimes you're on the field, and then for us is that okay, how can we help? How can we, there are certain directions that from here, you have to take. Then for the team, is the same for you. You guide them that now you're working as a team, and make sure that whatever things we can resolve, let's talk about it. Let's resolve within the team. All right, and not just anyhow bring it out. All right. Now the team leader is also responsible for the ministry development. Okay, of the team members. So we have the areas of, just now we talk about the 4 areas. So we have to provide pastoral care over all welfare, personal development, and then ministry development. So what are the areas of that we can care for them in their ministry development, or how do we do it? Ministry development. So when they come back, wow, you want to see them growing in their personal development, but in ministry, wow, if they come back, they still do not know how.
I think whatever that they didn't know how to do before they go to missions, after they